Okay guys, hello. Today we're gonna be learning how to defend a tower rush. As many of you struggle, especially in lower elos, to deal with that you struggle against a tower rush. Today I'm gonna show you guys how to defend a tower rush and how to counter attack, right? I'm gonna be playing a game against the AI, so it's not gonna go on for long, but the basics, what you have to do in the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game, it serves for every civ. It doesn't matter what civ you're playing, except for civs like English, who can't really get tower rush because, you know, their villagers have bows. So, I mean, it's pointless, right, to send a villager to build a tower when the English villagers can just snipe him down. Against Ruse also doesn't really make any sense because they're going to be getting the gold from Hunt to age up. And that's about it, right? You can still, you can tower rush any other civ. There are some civs who deal better against tower rush, like HRE, China, and Ottoman. Each of them because of a different thing. So HRE has a prelate, so they can heal up their spearmen. China can just produce a lot of spearmen, like more spearmen than the Mongol player, because of the imperial official boosting the barracks. Ottoman, at one point, they will have the same amount or even more spearmen than the Mongol player, but also they will get the vizier point and get 2 scholars out to heal, like have AoE healing, right? So it's just impossible for the Mongol player to place any tower. Now, as for the rest of the civs, the way you deal against tower rush is the same, right? Only Delhi could be played a little bit differently, but because they have access to all technologies for free and they can get textiles, making it even more safer to go and take the tower down, as we will see now. So I picked French because French versus Mongols is a pretty tough matchup for Mongols. Sorry, for French. But again, you can do this with every civ, right? So I'm going to start off normal, 7 villagers on food, 3-4 villagers on gold. You might want to place 1 or 2 more villagers on gold depending on what you need, right? There are civs like Japanese who want to go for level 1 wheelbarrow, which is 50 gold. So you're going to need not only the 200 gold for the feudal age up, but also an extra 50 for wheelbarrow level 1, which you want to have. Civs like French, for instance, your wheelbarrow is a bit more expensive, is 105, but you kind of want to go for an early knight, right? Because Mongols will be invested in in Dark Age a little bit longer than you. So you want to put pressure over their gold mine, Uvu, whatever is exposed, right? And that's why you want to have an early knight. So you kind of want to get those 100 extra gold. Let's speed it up a little bit. So now I'm sending a 4th one and even a 5th one to get gold. Not only the 200 gold, but also that extra 100 for the knight. Now, as for the rest of the villagers, onto food, all of them, right? Until they age up. Once I have all the gold that I need, I can pull my villagers back. And I'm going to be deleting the mining camp. Why do I need to delete the mining camp? If the mining camp gets burned down, Mongols will get a bounty of like 25 food and 25 gold, I think it is. And how does that affect you? Well, that will speed up their feudal timing. And once they're feudal, they will add arrow slits on the tower that they're going to be building here or maybe here, right? Making that even harder to take down, right? So our objective is to deal with that tower before it gets arrow slits. So everything that's, speeding up their feudal time, obviously we don't want that, right? So we're going to be deleting the mining camp. When am I supposed to see the spearmen, the 2 spearmen, and the first villager coming in from the Mongol player? Around minute 2:30. So we still have some time to be gathering gold, right? 2:30, remember that time mark, 2:30. The villager and the spearman will be by my gold mine. Now, that timing can be different if my gold mine spawns in front of my base or at the back of my base, right? If it spawns at the back of my base, that timing would be even later, a little bit later, like instead of 2:30, maybe 2:45. If it spawns from that gold mine, then that timing would be maybe a bit earlier, like 2:20, 2:15, right? Okay, I have the gold, and as you guys can see, I'm deleting the mining camp. I don't care about the house. Also, this is a good tip. Don't build a house next to the mining camp, right? Like we many times do that. We send the villagers, build a house next to the gold mine, and then the mining camp next to it, obviously, right? If you do that against Mongols, not only your lumber camp, your mining camp will get destroyed, and it will give bounty to the Mongols, but also your house, which is way more important, right? Because for now, we're not going to be mining gold, but we do need the house, right? And also, it's going to provide more bounty to the Mongol player. So remember to build your house within the TC range. Okay. Now, on this game, I'm going to run out of sheep. That shouldn't happen, right? Just remember to drop the sheep that you find around your base. Drop them before you leave, before you go on to more scouting, so that you don't run out of food. I'm going to run out of food, and I'm going to be forced to build a mill here. But that should never happen, okay? You should be gathering food from sheep. Now, as I'm aging up, as you guys can see, let me place the villager distribution here. I'm sitting on 7 villagers on food, right? For 2 reasons. And I'm going to be rallying more villagers onto food. But I do have 5 villagers on wood. And that's because as soon as I age up, I want to build an archery range, get 2 archers out, and snipe the villager. That's going to be my first objective. The tower, by this point, 305, the tower is almost built, and he will probably be putting his spearmen inside of the tower. So there's no way for me to take the tower now. But what I can do is avoid getting more towers around my base. And this happens a lot in lower elo games, right? They're not happy only with towering your gold, but they come here and tower your berries and tower your wood line and everything, right? So in order for us to avoid that, we're going to get 2 archers, and with those 2 archers, together with the scout, which is coming back to my base in a moment, we will be hunting down that villager, okay? That's my first objective when dealing with the tower rush. Take down that villager so that he or she doesn't build more towers. Now, as you guys can see, my scout is down south here. I'm approaching my opponent's base, and I'm going to be looking for a weak point here, right? In this case, I'm playing French, and I'm getting a knight out of my landmark, so I want to know where to pressure. But if I wasn't playing French and I was only going for archers, right, I still want to know where I can pressure, because once that villager is down or gone, I'm gonna have 2 archers sitting in base. I wanna make use of those 2 archers. And what's the best way? Just pushing out, right? Because the Mongol player will be still in Dark Age for a bit longer. So there's no way for him to deal with my archers. He doesn't have Keshiks. He could build a stable, but that's just not gonna happen, right? So my 2 archers can actually pull him off the gold mine, right? Or pressure Hisuvu, whatever I need. Or maybe he went out for deer, I don't know, right? But better than sitting here in my base, I want to take those archers to my opponent's base and pressure. In this case, as I said, I'm going to be pressuring with the knight, and I'm going to keep my 2 archers in base for the time being. Okay, so let's go back. This is my vision. As you guys can see, I've spotted probably his TC's over here. I've spotted his gold mine, so now I know where to pressure. And I'm going back. Why do I need to go back? Well, I need to go back because the scout is going to provide me with the vision that I need to keep track of that villager so that it doesn't sneak around and drop another tower somewhere else, right? I age up. As soon as I age up, instantly drop an archery range, right? And since I'm playing French, I've been sending some villagers onto foot. I'm producing a knight, okay? So now I have my knight rallied onto his gold, and I'm building an archery range and producing 2 archers. You don't need more than 2 archers. You will eventually produce more because Mongol player opened with barracks, so he's going to have spearmen. But for now, just to deal with the tower rush, you only need 2 archers, right? Right. So I'm coming back with my scout, and I'm getting instantly 2 archers. 2. What I'm doing now, it's scouting around my base, right? I see this tower over here, camping my goal. I can't deal with it now, but I need to look for the villager. Where's the villager? Is it here? Is it here? That's what I need to find out with my scout, all right? Sending my knight over to his goal. And now archers, as you guys can see, well, look at this. I'm trying to find that villager. He won't be able, unless he brought 2 villagers, he won't be able to build a second tower just with 1 villager, all right? Sometimes the Mongol player might produce a bit too many spearmen just to protect that second tower and try to deny your first archer, right? Imagine that he's got 4 spearmen here in this first tower, and he's building another one over here, and he has an extra 2 or 3 more spearmen. He might want to try to deny your first archer with those spearmen and build that second tower. That's not going to happen. It's hard that happens if he's only bringing 1 villager. Because as you guys can see, if he tries to approach my archer, it is within the TC range. So if he gets closer, I'll just garrison villagers, and his spearmen will die, right? And also my second archer is about to come out. So my archer doesn't really need to be hitting the spearman. He needs to be hitting the villager. Okay. Okay, let's see. Imagine that the guy canceled the tower, moved away. Okay. So the tower rush is over now. We still have to deal with 1 tower, but for now it's over. There are not going to be more towers. My second archer, where's my second archer? I'm pretending I'm looking for the villager around here, just to make sure that he's also not dropping any towers on my woodline. My second archer will be, again, searching around, right? If I wasn't playing French and sending a knight over to his gold mine, once I know that there are no more villagers around my base, I would take these 2 archers. I don't know where the other one is, but I will take these 2 archers and send them over, right? Because if you send your 2 archers over, you're going to force a tower. At least. If he doesn't have the gold. At least you're going to force the tower. Okay? And if you don't force the tower, you're going to be camping his uvu, so that he doesn't produce any more spearmen. But since I have my knight there, I can keep my archers here. Now, what is the next step? What is the next step? Mongols are still in Dark Age, right? I have 2 archers here. I have my horsemen here. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to take down that tower, right? Why? Because when as soon as the Mongols age up, they're going to get arrow slits on that tower, and it's going to be a pain in the ass to remove it, right? I might lose 2 or 3 villagers if I try to take the tower down with arrow slits. But if they don't have arrow slits, I can just pull a bunch of villagers. The more you pull, the better, because the tower is going to go down faster. As you guys can see, I'm pulling villagers now. And you got to be very careful here, right? So you bring your units with you, the few units that you have, right? And let's say that the tower was here. It starts hitting this villager. What I'm going to do instantly, or this one, the villager that gets hit the first, I'm going to pull that villager back, right? So that he doesn't die. If I can click on, because clicking in this game is it's a hard thing to do, just clicking, right? Clicking the right unit. But if I can manage to click whichever unit is being hit by the tower, just click it and pull it back, right? That's microing your villagers so that you don't lose any. At least those 2, you're not going to lose them. You take the tower down. These many villagers, 16 villagers, I mean, you're going to take the tower down in a second, right? And if that happens, that Mongol tower rush is over, and it was not worth it, right? Because he is late to feudal. He's not camping my gold anymore. He's not denying my gold anymore. I'm feudal already. I got a knight out, and I can now get back to my goal and start getting upgrades from feudal and everything that I need, right? This is like the most standard way of dealing with the tower rush. It may happen, you know, there are some crazy Mongol players out there. I've even seen people going for a barracks, right, on the Uvu, a barracks on the Uvu, and then a stable, and be in Dark Age for like 10 minutes. That doesn't happen, usually doesn't happen. The most normal thing to do as Mongols is what I just explained. I am a Mongol player myself, and this is what I would do, right? Drop a tower here, because these towers are not only denying this gold, but also denying this one. So I would be happy with that. And in case he wants to go out onto this gold mine, I will have Keshiks. So those villagers are going to be exposed, and I could potentially kill them, right? So I would be happy with just 1 tower here. There are people who build 2 towers. If they build 2 towers, then you will have to find your way to get gold from another source, right? Because 2 towers, that's too many. 2 is too many, and you're going to lose a bunch of villagers, and you don't want that, right? So no pulling villagers. Just find yourself another gold mine here and protect them with a tower or 2 in case you need them, right? But if it's only 1 tower, you can just, before it gets hour slits, before the Mongol ages up, you can go and torch it down with your villagers and a couple of units, right? As I don't have gold, I just got a horseman and my 2 archers, right? My 2 archers will attack the spearmen in case he pulls them out of the tower. But if he pulls them out of the tower won't be shooting, right? So, and that's it. That's how you deal with tower rush, early game, right? If you guys let that tower be there, sit there and get hour slits, then it will become way harder to take down, and you don't want that, right? Especially if you are a gold dependent civ like HRE, French, OTD, JD, whatever, right? Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any doubts, let me know in the comments. If you want to come by Twitch, we stream every day with this sort of content and much more. And I will see you guys in the next one.